Hi again, and welcome to True Tempo. It is Tuesday, and I think I'll have the time to play a full league this time. In front of us, we have the MTG Goldfish metagame from the last 7 days, and I think these numbers are quite interesting. We have like a higher amount of decks at a pretty high clip. I'd say starting at Painter at 6.7 with Mystic Forge, and then the Cats, Sneak and Show, and Demir Tempo to round it off. I think all of these numbers are quite high compared to what we see in usually in Legacy. Typically, it's only a few decks at that rate, and then plenty at like 5 and below. Um, so, I mean, when I look at this metagame, I think that consigned to memory looks quite good because of Forge having a increased popularity because it's good against Oops. But beyond that, I don't. Well, it's good against the Epic Storm as well. In the other matchups, I don't particularly need it. I mean, it has definitely has text against Painter, but there's a lot of cards that have text against Painter when you play Izzet. That being said, I'm kind of just prefacing that because I am playing a build kind of experimental with only two consigns. So that might come back to bite me in this league. The thing is, there are two things that I want to try today, building on last week. So Gutshot was I played that for the first time last week. I played two in the sideboard. One of my Patreon subscribers, he asked if it wasn't a good idea to try the fourth cutter in the main. I had the fourth cutter in the sideboard, so I think that was a good idea, but that needs like for that to make sense. He and I also think that a fifth free card should be in the main deck. He proposed a Bauble, the Ursus Bauble, which is definitely the safe pick. I want to play a gut shot because I think it's like the floor is okay when you play a cutter. Gut shotting to the face is kind of the floor with cutter. Otherwise, I mean, we're gonna have to brainstorm it away or something if, in matchups where we don't have cutter online and where it doesn't really have text because they don't play small creatures. But that's a bit like unholy heat in matchups like Sneak and Show or Oops. That's gonna happen, and I think that's okay when you have this synergy of just making a prowess token turn two. And well, the upside is of course high when it's a good card in the matchups against Bowmasters and the Cats and the Welders. It's going to be very good. So that's what I want to try. That's the kind of reasonable experiment today. I think that's not very controversial, only just a slight bit. But the more like risky idea, if you want to win games in this metagame, is maybe that I want to try Casey Jones, and this is in because that there are matchups. Let me just bring back the metagame matchups where I don't want any counter spells. So I want to board out 4 Daze and 4 Force of Will against the Cats, against Painter, and actually also in the mirror. Um, I mean Daze can be okay, but I prefer being like a jump deck if I have enough cards against Cradle Control. I mean the Force of Wills can be somewhat necessary because they have some key cards, but usually they bought out natural order, so it's more about like endurance stuff like that, which can definitely be worth forcing, but it's not really a high priority card in that matchup either. But anyways, it's mostly Cats, Painter, and the Mirror where I want to be a Jund deck. The Jund reference, I hope you get that. But basically, you when you turn your deck into like gas and cantrips, then you can like play a longer game and not have dead draws in matchups where counterspells are bad. Counterspells are at its best when the opponent is trying to do something broken, or against the mere tempo when they have sorry, Barragoyf that you need to daze, or Bowmasters that you need to daze. So that's a fair matchup where I do want some counterspells, notably the 4 days. But yeah, anyways, so I like looking at this metagame. It's not. We do have a lot of combo: Sneak Show, Oops, Mystic Forge, the Epic Storm, and it takes a lot of space having these 8 cards for to be able to make the kind of Jund sideboard swap. But I feel like Sneak Show, we're super well prepared between the Hydroblast, the Pyroblasts, the Force of Negations. Oops is a weak point for sure, with only these 4 cards being really relevant: Force of Negation and Consign. Pyroblast to some degree as well, of course, against Pact of Negation. Against Mystic Forge, it's the same 4 cards, basically. Abrade is also fine. Brazen can have text, but it's not impressive. And the Epic Storm, similar. Like, having a 3rd Consign would be sweet. Having Silent Gravestone against Oops, or Grafticus Cage, of course, which would also have text against Cradle, would be sweet. So these are like definite holes in this sideboard plan, which I'm okay just for the sake of trying something. I'm I'm definitely okay like losing some percentage points in what is for me testing, like playing League is testing, and Casey Jones is an interesting card. It's like I was thinking about cards like Bedlam Reveler in this slot, and Bedlam Reveler is I can bring it up. It's a kind of awkward card, unfortunately, pretty often. Ideally, it's the card that you want to play last. So here it is. So you discard your hand and you draw 3 cards. So ideally, this is the last card and you draw 3. That's awesome. But getting 6 instants and sorceries takes some time. So this is not always like, it's very clunky. It doesn't play as well as you want to most of the time. It's close, but I'm not convinced it's good enough. Casey Jones, I'm not planning to consign the trigger or stifle it. Planning to just play it as it was designed, basically. So how do we get an advantage? Well, ideally, just like Bedlam Reveler, it's the last card we play, but we can play it at any point, and it's not like gonna cost us. We draw 3 and we discard 3. So at worst case scenario, it's we're at parity, but we have a 4/3. And best case scenario, we can like draw into free spells like Baubles we can play, like Godshot, like Pyrokinesis that we can unload, and then in our upkeep, ideally, we can play instants like a Bolt, like a Braid, Hydroblast, Brazen Borderer, and Brainstorm. Brainstorm is especially interesting because we can kind of make sure that if we have to discard 1 or 2 cards, ideally, because we don't have more than that after playing stuff, at least it's like extra lands or something. And that way, Casey Jones is helping us dig through lands we don't need and find us gas. Beyond that, we can bounce it with Boomerang Basics, so we have like a even more late game grind available, which is like, I think Casey Jones is, once you have plenty of lands, it's just going to be very, very good. when you don't play counter spells, because the plan is to board all of these out. When Casey Jones and these cards or Pyroblasts I bought it in. So I mean, late game it's going to be very good, and sometimes mid game it's going to be medium, is my guess. So yeah, I think it's just intriguing to try a card like this. I'm not convinced that it makes the cut because it does make our sideboard very much and which the main deck is also very much focused to beat the fair decks. So is this setup good enough to beat the unfair decks of the format? I mean, it's pretty close, but we could be better, and we could be set up in a way to just board in like 4 to 6 cards in the fair matchups and be forced to leave in a couple of Dazes or Forces, and maybe that's better overall. But anyways, I'm here to test. So yeah, let's play some games. All right, round 1, and according to Goldfish, my opponent played Boris Initiative. Not so long ago. That's quite spicy. I mean, I have a good hand here, a great hand, maybe even. Especially if I need to force. So they just play Flooded Strand. That doesn't look like a Stompy deck, but it could be. Okay, double force. I don't want to get wasted. I'm just gonna play a Flooded as well and pass the turn. So unless they have Cavern, if they're that kind of deck, I should be doing good here. I'm just gonna check their list. Yeah, that's not I'm pretty sure they are on a different deck, so just gonna forget about Initiative. So I guess this is a Phelia deck, most likely. Phelia is a good one. I guess I should actually fetch now. Well, they also play Wasteland, so I shouldn't fetch now. Yeah. Okay, so they have like Stifle Phelia up, and I can surveil. Am I fighting over a Stifle? I'm definitely, but I'm also, well, they Stifle, they can't Phelia. Well, actually, okay, they have the Stifle. So I can run into Daze here. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on at the same time. I should like I can't get a surveil land unless I want to get wasted. I should have waited because I could have drawn a Daze. Basically, this timing was bad because they have the Wasteland. I'm gonna force, and I think I'm just gonna pitch force. I don't want to go too deep on having to double force. That's gonna hurt too much. But yeah, I shouldn't have fetched there. Because I'm kind of, yeah, no reason to do that basically. And there's the Daze. Okay, well, let's see if my cutter resolves. They have a force. Okay. So I could have kept a force but have absolutely no resources afterwards. I'm not too high on that, but yeah. I was there's a lot of things to talk, like talking and playing. I said that the last video as well, but it's really something when there's like 3 or 4 different factors in play at the same time. They are gonna. I know they have a Riddler. That's what's up. Okay, I'm gonna Daze that. Okay. So they don't have more lands. I think I wanna try and find a Wasteland here. Okay, well, Boomerang Basics is good and Daze is good, so let's just play the game like that. They're a deck, like, unless they have Tameo, they're pretty heavy on 2-drops between Phelia and Riddler. They can have a Ponder here, of course. But they might also have more 2-drops. In which case, Daze is awesome. Them wasting me doesn't look good for them when they're missing land drops. And I have a little otter in play. Okay, so now they, with the land, they can probably waste me, or play a 2-drop and then waste me. So that is strong. Tameo, okay. 2 cards left. And a white spell. Ending here. Okay. I mean, it's good since I have a boomerang. I'm gonna look for, I think just, I could brainstorm to try and find bold land, but that's a bit hoping for too much, I think. Yeah. I think I need to find lands here. See, if I had Gotcha, I could get them on the block here. So that's not gonna happen, but it's interesting that, you know, people will definitely not expect a free spell. So now I'm behind a lot, with a lot. Well, not that much, but I really need to get rid of Temio. Peranto, let's brainstorm. Here's the gotcha, but no land. These Dazes, are they gonna do anything? I mean, at least they're active spells. Boomerang is not doing much. Yeah, that would have been so nice to have the gotcha at last turn. Well, feel like we are gonna lose this game pretty soundly. Okay, they have a red splash. And a brainstorm. Can't really have that, I think. On the other hand, then what? Then they're gonna tick up. Maybe that's actually fine. Maybe that's better for me than not than them at just attacking and making tokens. I feel like I have a better shot beating a Tameo flipped than not flipped. If they have a removal spell, that's, yeah, indeed the case. For now, Quantum Riddler, that is also gonna kill me. Do they have a Daze? Yeah, okay. So far behind. Mm, and maybe actually I should just be playing Quantum Riddler. I'm just thinking about the logic I talked about Casey Jones. Well, there's the great difference that Casey Jones is a body on board, so it's not the same thing. Let's get a little creature in play. See how they play. But Riddler is, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's high impact enough. Maybe Casey Jones isn't either. Mm, mm, mm. I mean, this is a matchup where I think I'm gonna try it. Daze is decent because of their 2-drops. They're very good 2-drops, especially Phelia. Murktide, yeah, okay. When I'm conceding this game, they get back at Daze, maybe that would be a fine play with the Tameo. Yeah. Now I can gut shot here and bounce here and be back in the game. But I have to play around the Daze. I can take 9. Let's start by gut shotting here. I wonder if we know they have a Daze. I wonder if they also have a 2-drop, like a Phelia. I think I'm just gonna try and find a land here so I can bounce the Murktide. It's gonna come back, but smaller. Okay, they Daze. So we can pass the turn. One card and one land in hand, presumably. Ponder, okay. Like getting to Casey Jones mana against Stifle Wasteland is not easy, which is another point against it. They didn't shuffle. They liked their cards. Okay, well, let's bounce and force it on the way back if nothing else happens. Pitching Daze. Did it work? It did. Okay. I mean, if they only had the Murktide, we do have a game. They can make it 5/5. They played how many Dazes so far? Only one? So they could easily have Daze or force blue card. Okay, or nothing. So I don't expect them to have nothing, but maybe a Phelia, which is so good against our tokens. Okay. Let's draw cards. I think I wanna just dig deeper, go beyond the Chandler. Plow coming up. Okay. So we just need to beat Plow and whatever they have in hand. It's not just, but okay, they fetch. They have some really good draws in Biddler, of course. Yep. That is very strong. So I guess I want to try and find more bounce so I can attack. It's very bad bouncing that one though. But I cannot just play a cutter and say go. Bolt is something. Trading Bolt and Chandler. I mean, yeah, it's better than a random card, I think. They stifle, okay. So they have the advantage with all these lands. Like they have a bunch of card advantage that transformed into, well, lands, but also cards in hand. So it's not likely we can get there. They have removal. Okay. I'm gonna concede. Since I'm drawing a bolt. Okay, so how do we want to attack this with our current sideboard? Like, we can technically go and like a Pyroblast is of course very good. Gutshot is not very good. Pyrokinesis can, I mean, I prefer not to go there. Prefer to just use bolts and Pyroblasts, I think, for removal. I don't think this is a Force of Will matchup. Do I think do I think that Casey Jones will do something interesting here? Like this is like I have more cards I can draw that I don't want to draw, like Daze. Like Brazen is probably like better. Try like this, just have like a cherry on top. Let's try that. Like a braid is mediocre. So between endings and some Hydroblast, maybe they have plenty of answers to Cutter, which is otherwise our best threat. Even just Phelia killing tokens is quite the wrench in the machinery. Alright, we can keep this. I'm just gonna play Chandler. Sorry. On the draw, it's gonna be, assuming we get there, I think I'm gonna add Force, like play Force, maybe still keep in a few days, get rid of the KC. Feel like I want a few forces, maybe 3 force, 2 days, something like that on the draw. Yeah, blue-white Phelia, I should try it at some point. It's a nice deck. It doesn't tickle my fancy as much as Izzet, but I think it's very interesting to how it's different from Demir and Izzet. Alright. So maybe we're not gonna Thundering Falls this turn. Maybe we are. What do they have here? Sorry, that must be loud. Okay, I'm gonna Daze. I'm gonna keep that. I want to play that. Even though I usually am quick to put a creature in the bin for Chandler. To get Delirium fast. Are they also gonna Daze? Maybe. They're thinking about it for sure. Okay, so I mean, I wanna just play Chandler and then play Storm Chase's Talent. Then I'm set up to grind aggressively, grind and attack with a bold up. It's pretty good. Phelia is very slow on the draw, very heavy. But on the play, it is good enough. A 2 mana flash threat with its ability. Maybe a removal spell here. Yep. So, do I want to fetch? I have a Ponder on top. I'm gonna fetch regardless. I'd like to get something in the bin that gives me Delirium. So, I know I have Ponder. Brainstorm. It's a good one. Can I say no to that? Not really. Just want to get this up and like spend my turn. use my mana, and like the risk of getting dazed is not really a risk when I have creatures attacking, and it's a one drop spell that I'm casting. So I think that's quite obvious to play. Now I'd like to potentially keep a Bolt for Phelia if they pass the turn. Brainstorm, yep. The Riddlers are not very good. Ending is fine, since I am making creatures. It's kind of an axis I'm okay playing on. That is also an axis I'm okay playing on. So maybe they bought out Daze. I think yeah, I think it's a good time to play Murktide. Even though it could get dazed. And then I can play Talent, hold up Bolt next turn. Okay, that worked. We saw the red splash. They didn't fetch red here, so maybe they're not. Maybe they already have a land for that purpose, or they don't have Pyroblast. Well, here's the land. And yeah, we'll soon be at a point of Riddler being good, which means that I'd like to have Pyroblast up at some point soon. I've been spared Tameo so far, but it does feel it's quite the slogfest. And does feel like they have the better late game because of Riddler, basically. Alright. We have plenty of answers for that. But it does... how do I want to do this? Go deeper. Gotta have faith. Okay, so I need to be careful with Delirium here. Cutter is... like, I might be able to win the race. I feel like I need Cutter Bolt, and something better probably than Stormchaser's Talent. Once I fetch, I have Delirium, so that is something. Let's say they attack. They don't have me on a 2-turn clock. If I attack with Cutter Bolt on my turn, that is 3, 6, 8, 11. Maybe because of that, drawing the talent is better than Riddler, okay. Maybe that's actually lethal. They have a stifle here. Okay, that is a problem. Now I need something better than a talent. That ain't it. Huh. Well, I need to trade. Okay, that is good. I can save my bolt for the next turn. What if I bolt preemptively here? They're just gonna block something else, like a small, this one that attacks. Takes 6. And if I just attack, well then I'm gonna bolt, yeah. And trade. Guess that's the play. But this is, we need them to have nothing. Yeah, I'm envious of their deck, I gotta admit. They don't have it's just, yeah, it's like non-aggressive tempo. It's pretty cool. With a great engine hidden in the deck around Riddler. So what if I shoot them? They take 6, go to 7. Well, I'm dead on the swing back, so that's not really a good idea. It has to die. And then I have Pyroblast for the Murktide. All right. So 2 cards in their hand. They brainstorm. They play a land first. I don't know why. But don't think it's a tell of anything. Maybe it is. They have a Wrath of the Skies. That is pretty good. So I might be a 2. But the game is not over. They have 2 cards. Okay, that's a good one. Now, Casey Jones, please. Nuts. Okay, Cutter, I'll hold that so I can make a friend. Yeah, with the tokens, plenty of mana. I'm pretty cooked, right? Maybe if I draw Casey Jones now, I go Cutter Casey Jones, and they don't have a lot of stuff. Okay. That is something the talent can grind. These two cards can grind. Stifle. Alright, alright, alright. Stifle does have a lot of text against us. Yeah, but do they care? Gonna stifle this one. Okay. So let's hope they don't have a Phelia. And here's a Phelia. Okay. Well, we got handily dismantled. That's yeah, seems like a tough matchup. And yeah, I need to consider well, we're not really set up especially against this deck, but against this deck it is, the tools we want are bolts and power blasts and just being aggressive, but if you can't counter Riddler when it matters, then we lose the game pretty easily. Well, anyways, let's keep on. Alright, round 2. My opponent might be on Mystic Forge. I'm gonna keep. I need a threat, but I'm happy to have Force of Will in that matchup. They mulligan. And yeah, it's funny how Mystic Forge, it was very hyped. Is it like a year? Year end 2 years ago? And it's still a strong deck. Definitely fell out of favor, and now it's back in favor. But let's see if we can find a threat. I don't want to bolt against them most of the time. Just gonna surveil. Really need a threat. That's a threat, I'll take it. It's the kind of threat that might get me back a Force of Will some turns from here. They have 4 mana. Okay, well, here's a reason for bolting, or having bolt. Do I believe in Daze? Not really. I think Daze has lost its appeal. If I had a bolt, I wouldn't force here, but you can't let that sit. That's a better threat than Stormchaser's Talent. I think I'm gonna brainstorm. It's kind of close because getting back a Force of Will is actually decent. Okay, Murktide is a better threat. Stormchaser is now a pitch, I think. I don't need all these lands. I guess I don't need a cutter. Yeah, I'm just gonna get aggressive like that. Against the One Ring, like bolts and Murktides is decent. Pithing Needle. Well, I'm gonna fetch. They're gonna say Wasteland. But okay, that's kind of a dead card. We can make a 5/5. I can also bolt them end of turn. Okay, I have a target for my bolt. Awesome. Interesting that they played it in that order. They could have made a spawn token here. That is pretty sweet. Murktide is sweet against decks like that. That's fine. They don't have a key yet. They only have 3 cards. So Tesseract, that's a key. That's a key. But if I force, I stop them this turn. I think I'm gonna force, yeah. Keeps them low. Alright, they have a bunch of mana, but only 1 card left. If I find a blue card, I think it should be easy to ride this Murktide. Like, the One Ring is coming, even if it comes next turn and I don't have a force, it's a bit late when they don't have keys. If they don't have keys. Okay, sweet. So a 2-turn clock with the bolt. Let's say key. Yep. Just hoping they don't have Ugin. They have something awful. Maybe it's Coslic's command. Yep. Let's say no to that. I don't think there's a reason to bolt now. But I'm pretty sure that's gonna go to the face. Do I play this land? Yeah, I think so. So 1 draw. But they don't know that they only have 1 draw. Yep. They're just preparing. Now I will bolt them end of turn so they concede. So that was lucky. I felt like drawing the blue card for force, and yeah, we had an easy game here. So Mystic Forge. So one of these matchups that I said that we're not super well prepared for with this sideboard. And is there anything else here? No, I don't think so. In no reasonable way. So I'm happy cutting some of these. I think I can cut baubles. like Storm Chaser's Talent is not, and Boomerang Basics, they're not awesome, but they are blue cards. And yeah, Boomerang Basics is gonna not bounce much on their side, but it can still be kind of a role player. Guess cut a bolt, keep 3 for Fleshraker plus the Abrade. I think that's fine. And the consigns. Yeah, like Dazes are not awesome either. It's a blue card, basically. That's the big one. Yeah, I think that's kind of enough. Sometimes it will get there, countering something, but it's mostly just a blue card. Okay, I'm keeping. Like Cutter is slow on the draw in a matchup like this, but so be it, so be it. Okay, a key. Candelabra, sure. Pedal. Just a ponder, looking for. Okay, okay, okay. We can play the same game. So next turn, I can make an extra mana with Tomb Candelabra, but they they don't have a lot of cards. I mean, I'm gonna bet. I'm gonna try and see if Daze is good enough, and then next turn I'm gonna brainstorm and get the other ones. Maybe Daze has text, but I'm gonna shuffle away Cutter, hopefully. Trying the one-off Murktide is very nice. So that gives them a lot of mana. Right now they have 5 mana without the monolith. I think I should just let them have a lot of mana. Basically. I think they have enough that they can play their most of their big spells anyways. It's just Ugin that is beyond. Karn. Okay. So I'm gonna pitch Daze. Right. Well, maybe I might as well keep Daze in the off chance that they tap out for 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. They might have another 4-drop that they. So I'm gonna pitch the Ponder. Okay, so I can get my brainstorm going here. Alright, I am okay having a bolt, I think. Yeah, I might just end of turn bolt them to get to Murktide. Daze is my pitch. Alright, that's scary. I can also surveil, and unless it's a Wasteland, I'm binning it. Alright, so what are they doing here? Messing with me. So next turn they're gonna make 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5/5, and I can ponder kind of for free, make an 8/8 Murktide. That's 2 turns. Can also wait. Wait, because then I can like let them make 1/5/5, doesn't matter, and then I can try and find a Wasteland next turn, because I don't want them to get like whatever scary artifact they might have in the deck. So Daze. Question, do I bolt? Just to make an 8/8? Doesn't really change the clock, but you know, it might add up. I feel like I should save the bolt. And what, just make a 7/7? In that case, why not just ponder? I think I should ponder now. Like I might find more cantrips. I'll ponder now. That is bad cards. That's a blue card. Well, we can also jump log a token, of course. Might be something. They have infinite mana for sure. Let's then go. That's a very nice draw. Thank you so much, deck. Let's try that. They can make it unblockable with Manifold Key. If they have it, they don't have Manifold Key though. So, do I believe Daze will have text? Do I believe this creature matters? I don't think Daze has text at all. So Ugin, a bust, the One Ring. Okay. Yeah, that was very smooth sailing. We had some lucky draws, I think. And yeah, I mean, I think the matchup is typically in our favor. But we have built the deck. I have built the deck today in a way that's not ideal, with all of the cutters, the gut shots, only 1 Murktide, and only 2 consigns. I mean, it's maybe 2 or 3 cards that are different. Realistically, I'd play 3, no more than 3 consigns, and 1 more Murktide, I guess, in the main deck, 1 or 2. So it's not very big. It's kind of a small difference against this deck, and And then against Oops, as I mentioned. Well, my opponent is waiting, so I'm just gonna stop and see you for the next round. All right, round 3, and my opponent played Doomsday the last time, so or maybe they're playing Slivers, since their name is kind of saying that. But I'm gonna keep, and I'm under the assumption that they're playing Doomsday, and that's gonna get wasted. Like having Wasteland work is definitely a big upside when I keep this hand. But yeah, I don't mulligan a lot. They put Force of Will in the bin. Maybe they have an idea of what I'm playing. Maybe they just already have Force and they don't want more. Alright, no more wasting. And just brainstorm, because what they have Pedal Dark Ritual Doomsday to find. Like they have some of that. They need I don't know. It's rare that you see like Sorcery Speed play a land, the first land in a sense, and then Brainstorm. It's definitely a combo vibe. Okay, I am not gonna be afraid of. Like what I am a bit afraid of is turning on their Daze on their turn. Okay, they just stays here. Well, since I have Boomerang, I mean this is actually pretty good. Like I want to do this. I want to get aggressive as well against Doomsday. They force as well, so they have nothing going on, is what I am reading. They just brainstormed and they have absolutely nothing going on. So I will fight. Four cards, one of them being an island. And they are very afraid of... Okay, that's a good one. That is a good one. That's also a very good one. Thank you, deck. Let's see if they have a Daze. So, assuming they're on Doomsday, I mean, they might be on just a Dimir Tempo. But when they this aggressive against an Otter token, I feel like they're on Doomsday. Doomsday without the combo at hand. Dotsies. Okay, well, it's a good one. Wasteland is also good. Sweet. Let's play around Daze. So I have a lot of good draws to have some aggressive otters against 12 point of life in a Doomsday deck. Hoping they don't play main deck Bergoyf or Bowmaster with the mana to cast them. Oh yeah, that's a fine way of keeping up the steam. Doesn't take much at this point. Nothing else happens. I'll equip and attack for 3. And if I can chain cantrips, okay, well, What do I prefer? 3 now, or 2 now and 3, yeah, 4 next turn. I guess I'm playing the Chandler. I don't think it changes anything. Well, it probably changes something really specific post Doomsday. If they Doomsday, they go to 3, and they have to win right away, of course, without Street Wraith plus fetch, for instance. Okay. So they are trying. Deck Ritual Doomsday. Guess they're gonna pass as they make their pile. They're moving pretty fast, so I feel like they have me dead. They're not playing Bergoyf, Bowmasters, Murktide, Temio. It's the tempo version. Cavern of Soul, Unearth here. Huh. So let's see. Edge of Autumn, Brainstorm. I'm impressed. LED Thassa, Street Wraith. So 1 life. If I had equipped, this line would not have been there. Yeah. I don't know if they had another line in that case, but okay. I feel like I am learning. I'm being punished for being yeah. That point definitely could matter. Yeah, I should have thought about just leaving out like 1 Street Wraith. Yeah. Oh well. Such is life. So they're playing tempo. I'm not sure I'm gonna play consigns. Bowmasters. This is let me think. Okay, I made my mix. I just stopped the video as I was doing it, so I'm gonna cut these cards and basically shave on the fair aspects. I still need like cards for Bowmasters, Tamios, Murktides. I need the bounce for Bergoyf, and I have 2 Force of Negations for Doomsday. I cut Wastelands because that's okay, I think. But yeah, always tough to get the right mix against tempo Doomsday. Yeah, gotta admit that hurt that I maybe missed the win in that previous game. That's a mulligan. And a keep. What am I binning? A force, maybe? Probably. A force. They keep 7. Yeah. Oh well. Live and learn. I think the point, it's not just thinking about what happened, but just against Doomsday in those last turns, it's really like now or never for them to. They have so little working, so little margin, so small margins to be able to eke out a win, that it's worth it to just make it just a tad more difficult for them to get there the next turn, instead of kind of optimizing for like getting another permanent in play, which is, I guess, the logic behind me playing the Chandler instead of equipping. So here, I think I'm just saying go. Like there was a small consideration to bouncing the Chandler, but we're not there yet. Do they have a push? Okay, I have Murktide. I can build towards Murktide instead. Dazing here feels bad. Attack Ritual, okay. Baraglyph, and I will Daze that one. Let's see if they... No. Okay, great. Dodge the bullet. Well, I was prepared to fight, but still. That's pretty nice, getting a 2-for-1 off a Daze. So I can cycle Boomerang Basics on the Bauble, but it's also kind of my pitch here, so I'm not gonna do that. LED? Okay, they didn't bought out LED. That's interesting. I thought they would be on a like really fair configuration post board. Now we have 5 cards. We just need a second land to play the Murktide. I'm gonna counter this one. I feel like they're not gonna play another land if I counter it. LED, yeah. So now I could cycle Bauble. I think I'm gonna do that. Or like cycle Boomerang Basics, Wasteland. That is definitely interesting. Let's see, they're drawing an island. Island Tamio. To go with my bolt. No. I'm definitely protecting the Murktide if they have a counter. If I draw that land. Plenty of ifs. With LED they can, if they see like a cantrip and a 3-drop, next turn they can crack the LED in response, but they shuffle in response to the cantrip. Yeah, baby. And it's in. I assume they have maybe a Brazen, maybe even 2 in the deck, but max that. They can play their own, of course, and it'll be bigger. That ritual. Paragraph. Yeah. Let's see if we can counter here. Okay. I am definitely feeling pretty lucky that they don't have a Daze, anything. Sweet. So 2 Barracoives down. I think they probably play 4 post board, which is quite awful. That's a Murktide. No, that's a bounce. Yeah, I am grateful. That's a surveil land. And now Baragov is not a live card. Murktide is. Doomsday is not. Temio is a blocker. I am gonna... What do I do in my turn? I might draw Force of Negation. I think I'm just gonna bolt first. And then surveil afterwards. If they have like a spell pierce, this is better. Okay, game 3. We didn't learn anything we didn't expect. LED means they certainly are going for Doomsday as well. I think we're just gonna submit. Force of Negation versus Consign. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Consign. Keeping the mulligan because like post Doomsday they can potentially play around it, and it's dead against the creature plan. Force of Negation is of course also dead against the creature plan, mostly. Wow, but not like if they make a dark ritual, play a dark ritual, and we are cold to Baragov, that is something we can force of negate. It's not awesome, but it's basically ensuring against their aggressive Doomsday draws. So that was just turn 1. I'm gonna just play my channeler, hold up Daze, not be too afraid. Have Daze available. A Daze, okay. Guess I will Daze back. I'm anyway missing my land drop potentially next turn. But yeah, it's kind of like the game 1. I feel like when they're dazing here aggressively, it's because they don't have much going on. It could be wrong. Okay, they have Fatal Push. Maybe they only have 1 land. Let's find a force and a land and a threat. Okay. Daze and a Chandler. Will that do? Don't think so, actually. That's a land. I'm happy about that. I can bounce Ritualized Baragov. Wasteland. Yep. And they just dig deeper. Fine. And no play. Okay. Guess I'm surveilling. Just surveilling here. And I'm definitely looking for more lanes. Wasteland is probably very good as well. But yeah, they don't have a lot of resources. When they are working towards like bombs at 3 mana, and I have answers for Tamio. No thanks. So now I can definitely get Bowmastered if I don't naturally find the land. Okay. Gonna brainstorm and I'm gonna force if I have to. Okay, sweet. So they didn't have a Bowmaster now. So I don't need bolts, is the logic. Do I need double talents? Maybe not, but it's a blue pitch. I think that's fine. And yeah. Ready to... Well, Boomerang has 2 jobs in the matchup. Grinding cards and bouncing Baraglyph. But we need to apply pressure also. So, let's see. Alright, consider... They didn't want a Timio. Looking for something a bit more aggressive. Okay. And the Baraglyph. So I'm pitching with talent. So I can bounce, but I will also need to... Well, if this resolves, of course I don't need anything else. I would like to find a Wasteland or things. Can I afford to bounce here? I think I'm gonna start by brainstorming. Okay, now I definitely can. Wow. Well, I'm just gonna draw things, so... I just need to not get wasted too much. Because they will see that I am missing my land drops here. Land drop. Alright. 3 cards. They better go if they can't waste. But this is gonna be close if they have something here. They put 1 card on top with the Surveil. Yeah. So maybe they have either Doomsday or Baraglyph next turn. And I am going to play the talent just to apply pressure. And I think I really need a land next turn, probably, to get there. Assuming they play a Baraglyph or Doomsday. Well, if they play Doomsday, they're dead. Unless they win right away, of course. If they waste me and play a Bergoyf, well, let's not even talk about that. Alright. That's just a roadblock. They put something on top. Pyroblast. I can Pyroblast just to get in. Yeah, I mean, I think I should do that. Just get in there. Doesn't feel good. I can also bounce here, but I think I need to bounce the Bergoyf. So, yeah. This is not... I mean, because I have the second Pyroblast for a Murktide, I think it's okay. But it's not amazing. They have a push. Okay, so be it. 2 cards left. Still feel like I can beat a Doomsday, maybe? Well, I can definitely beat a Doomsday, if they have nothing else. Bergoyf is... okay. Here is the Doomsday. Can they beat me now, or do they have, like, Daze? Yeah, close. They're passing the turn. Okay, well, let's just see if this is good enough. It was. Okay, close game. And thanks for watching, and see you for round 4. Alright, round 4, and I think my opponent is a friend of the channel. I recognize their name, and it looks like they were on Izzet Delver the last time. I lost the die roll. I don't have the lands I need. I'm gonna mulligan, although it's close because I have the Bauble. But yeah, it was tempting. This is better. We're gonna get rid of the force. So we have the luxury of bubbling with Chandler. Still have a bubble for Cutter, assuming we get to the second land. Daze is a decent pickup. So now I just really need lands. There's a risk I might run into a Wasteland, of course. Yeah. They're gonna Daze. Well, such is life. They have mana floating. Let's just go to combat. So they get rid of that mana. They're gonna brainstorm. Okay. Working towards a quick Murktide, maybe. Now, if they waste us here, I could bubble myself. Because then I see if I hit a land or not. And, it's like not a surprise what they're playing. If I don't find a land, should I bubble once again? I think so. Just to go deeper. A Daze. I mean, a cutter without a bubble is still good. What is not good is getting wasted and not making land drops. I have a force. Okay. Okay. Not wasted. Sweet. That's fine. Two baubles. Okay, so they can save one for the Delver. Or both. Sweet. So we have a cutter protected by Daze. That is awesome. They have 3 cards currently. Of course, 2 in the bank. We get a force here. So a Bauble wouldn't even have given us a token this turn because we had the Daze. So very nice turn of events. So they can still like have a good Wasteland here. Turning off double spelling next turn from us. They bubble me. They could have, maybe, do they know their top deck? But yeah, bubbling yourself with the Delver trigger means that you have a higher chance of controlling. Like if you see a non spell, like a spell that doesn't flip Delver, then you can trigger so that you draw that card before you trigger Delver, and that will heighten the chances of finding a card that makes Delver flip. But maybe they know from Brainstorm. So we know they have a Brainstorm. I feel like we need to dodge Wasteland. Here is Wasteland. And then we need to dodge like Murktide, in a sense. Well, now they have 2 threats. And once I shoot the Delver, DRC becomes a big boy. So I might as well shoot DRC. Okay, nice. Let's see if we can Daze something. Could have done this in the upkeep, actually. Would have been better, because then maybe I can Daze a spell from them. I mean, they also then can get like Brainstorm equity off of Channeler, which is something. But yeah, this exact scenario. I think I have to Daze here. Although I'm not happy about it. But yeah, I should have bolted in the upkeep. Okay, so I'm gonna play Island, so I can Brainstorm fetch next turn and just take 3. Delver is a nice card. Murktide coming up. That's scary. Okay, Ponder. They shuffle. 2 cards left. So if we find a bolt and it resolves on the Delver, then we're of course ahead. But we kind of need that. Like a bounce spell can also do the trick. A Chandler can, I guess, do the trick as well. These talents. I think. I mean, these talents can also, if I draw lands, theoretically get back bolts, but I'm also. They shuffled, by the way. The thing is, for sure I'm binning one talent. I can bin both to assure having red next turn. If they waste me and I don't take the Volcanic, I won't be playing at this Chandler. I think I should be aggressive in the sense that there's a good chance they have bolts. Like the Chandler's not surviving, so I need to also attack. I think I'm gonna bin it, but it's very tough. Like Daze and Bauble are likely cards. But yeah, I would have had a creature attacking for like 2 or 3 turns if I had played that bolt correctly on their upkeep. Such is life. That's why we play and try to figure out the good plays. So Murktide is going to be tough, of course. A bolt we can beat, or a heat. So assume, okay. No cards left. We have a blocker. We have some tokens attacking. If they don't flip, or if we find stuff, then we're doing well. Well. we're kind of doing okay. Okay, so this is quite decent. I prefer bolding. I think, and wait. I'll wait with the Chandler. And just bolts. Sure. I have a auto token that can trade with the Delver. So now they can win if they have a bolt on top. But yeah, they can also just not find what they need and lose in 2 turns. Okay, we bin a Bauble, so blind flip. And a bolt. Okay. They got it. Yeah, close game. Sweet. So now we can test these Casey Jones, which are probably bad. Like the more I've been. Sorry, 1 sec. I got my son on the baby alarm, and it vibrated, hoping that he sleeps. I'm gonna keep in one gut shot for a small Delver, but not board in the second one. Then I have a Braid Pyroblast for cutters, Pyroblast, Hydroblast, Brazen, good stuff all around. Oh, didn't get that Daze out of here. Let's try it like this. Okay, I'm keeping. Bauble will find my second land, or Brainstorm. Not having lands is definitely a risk. I'm gonna bin that. I already have my cantrip and don't think I can run the luxury or run the kind of the risk of getting wastelanded because I want to ponder and then not drawing a land. I'd rather just go deeper. See what the fate is for. Okay, they have one of their own. Alright, let's see if they daze this. I don't think so. Okay, got there. I think Boomerang is the weakest link alongside A-Bolts here. I'll have Delirium. I'm gonna just play my own, I think. They're pretty far away from Delirium. I can wait, I can attack first. See if that okay resolves. So now they need to have some bolts of their own, or they'll be very far behind on board. They are far behind on board, but they'll be dead pretty soon if they don't have bolts. That's another way of saying it. But I mean, that's the name of the game. We do have bolts. Everyone has bolts in the mirror. So that's why I'm hoping for Casey Jones to arrive at some point. I do think that it's gonna, like, the next league I'm starting, I don't think I'm playing Casey Jones, I have to admit. I do think I'm gonna upkeep bolts. They didn't want Murktide, so they already have one, I guess. Wasteland is... who knows if that is good. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. So I'm gonna... I don't mind them dazing my ponder here. I think that would be good for me. I'm gonna bin that. I don't think they have the second bolt yet. Okay, sweet, sweet, sweet. So now I can order it like this. I want all of that probably. So I can draw into the land. Okay, it's gone. See if they have a Pyroblast for the... If they want to target the talent. We don't know, of course. But yeah, it's gonna be good if they shoot the talent in response. Okay, that didn't happen. Let's play it again. They could have fire magic or something. No doubt. I think they have a Murktide. What else? Not Daze. Don't think so. Maybe like Petty Theft. Okay. I mean, that's fine. That is fine. If I draw a land, I'm just gonna Storm Chaser, I think. Class 2. They have 2 cards. Like, if I take 3, it's fine. Okay, then I'm just doing that. And attacking. And maybe bolting. Let's see. If it flips, I'm bolting. Maybe I'm bolting in my turn though. Let's see. No. I think I'm just shooting this. I don't want to take, but it's close. Maybe I should actually just, yeah. I'm just gonna take 3 and optimize my prowess. Like if they tap out for like just cantripping, I have lethal with Pyroblast here and bolt on them. It's not impossible. Okay. And another Delver. Okay. That's aggressive, but let's see how they play. Are they attacking? Is the question. They're gonna flip these. Okay, so like they have 1 card. Don't think they have Murktide, but it's not impossible. Thing is, they have to. If I shoot this, they have to jump. They don't know it, but they can, of course, figure it out pretty easily. don't block. Okay. Nice. Nice prowess finish. And did we learn anything? I don't think we saw any new cards. Just gonna run it back. Like, I'm actually tempted to play Pyrokinesis on the draw here. I think I'm gonna do that instead of Gutshot. It's a way of being able to get back from a tough spot. And, you know, Gutshot is on the draw, etc. Okay, nice hand. They look at them. Okay. Just gonna F6. They like the card. Okay. Okay, well, that was... I'm gonna bin that, I think. Because it's a sorcery. That was the reason for a fetch land here, because then I would have Delirium. So it only matters if they have a card like Fire Magic. But, you know, that could happen. Actually, sorry, that's not true. I got ahead of myself. I don't have instant, so without a Daze, I'm not getting Delirium anyway that fast. So let's see if they have some quick removal. Feels like we're starting something slower than the last games, something a bit more. So they just play Island. I have plenty of lands. I think I'm just gonna waste them, actually. Just have the feeling that they don't have more lands, like blue producing lands. I might brainstorm end of turn. They brainstorm now. Okay. Think I'm gonna waste them now then, when the brainstorm has resolved. If they play Stifle, wouldn't I prefer doing it on their turn? I mean, they might have Questing Druid or something. It would make me sad about that play. And Stifle, I don't know. It's not very likely. Hydroblast. Okay, that's fine. So they were saving that for Cutter. I'm gonna brainstorm. Okay, sweet. So I'm just probably gonna draw everything, but maybe not Brazen. Do they have a Delver? Ponder, okay. They like the card. And let's see what happens, but I'm probably going for Surveil Volcanic and Cutter. Just jam it. Don't think they have a land here, but Pyroblast is quite valuable. They liked the card with Ponder. So do I want them to Daze? They might have Daze and they might Daze my Pyroblast. Think I'm just gonna let them brainstorm. Thing is, if I do this, I'm fetching and I'm getting rid of Pyroblast and Brazen at the same time, which are like I think it's likely that they have Murktide. So that feels bad. Okay, so does this mean they didn't? They see the petty thefts, and they do have a volcanic. Wouldn't mind a 1-drop. Do I want that? Don't think so. Maybe a bit greedy. So I can play into... Play into a Daze with the first one. Just waste and say go. Still getting Dazed next turn. I think I'm gonna play Cutter like this, so I can potentially waste next turn and look a bit weak. Okay, so they didn't have a Daze. But maybe this Wasteland was kind of not thought through. A Braid coming up, pretty good. Okay. So if they just Braid, that means they don't have more lands, of course. They might cantrip. Okay, so they just Braid. And yeah, that's definitely a sign of weakness. I think I just want to play Cutter and waste them. Just play around Daze and waste. It's very bad if they have Hydroblast, but I don't think they have that. So now, now, unless they have Hydroblast, it's gonna be, with this setup, very tough for them. Like, Wasteland is not bad for them, but just playing Murktide is not gonna do it. If they have an Abrade, that's good, of course. They have they drew the land here. Fire magic, okay. That's not very impressive. So I am happy. Let's brainstorm. Don't think we need that one this game. So we'll bin that, or like put it below, so I can get rid of it with Ponder. I'm gonna Chandler now, and this is feeling quite good. If I don't get wasted, I think we're doing it. That's fine. We're making creatures every turn. So I'm gonna Ponder first. I could brainstorm and shuffle. I think I'm gonna do that. I don't have a lot of bad cards. Maybe just Pyrokinesis. Do they have something here? Okay, so get rid of this one and a like there's plenty of good cards here. What am I prioritizing? I already used one fire magic. I don't think they play more. But maybe I'm just playing Stormchaser's Talent this turn and drawing Ponder next turn. Doesn't sound bad, really. So yeah, they're at 6. This is tough to get out of. GG's, they say. Alright, good games in the mirror. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you for the last round. Alright, last round. Let's see if we can get that sweet 4-1 record. My opponent likes to play Forge, and the last time they played the all Tron colorless deck, basically the same from my perspective. I won the die roll. Nice. And I have a fine hand if I don't have to force or daze anything turn 1. So I'm happy I won the die roll for sure. Now I'm gonna Bauble turn 1. A mulligan. My priority here is finding counterspells and wastelands. It's not getting Cutter online. So I'm just, plus I don't have the second land, so I need to find that anyways. So I'm definitely just Chandler Bobbling. Daze is a good one. They have a Grim Monolith. Okay. And they have a Flute, which is gonna say Wasteland. which is gonna be good. I don't have any Wastelands yet, so I can also ignore this, and that's what I'm gonna do. If I had Wastelands, I would be dazing it, but you know, this way with my cantrips, I'll just prioritize forces and dazes and aggression. Winning fast, like they have an ancient tomb, so that's gonna hurt. All right, so I want to find like the second land is it's not necessary. Like I really need to get Delirium. So like with I think I'm gonna ponder because finding a land lets me brainstorm and then cutter Bauble next turn potentially, stuff like that. But yeah, let's see. Okay, that's fine. Put in the bin. So force. That means I can bin. I can get Delirium and draw the force. That's a-okay. Even though I don't hit my land drop. Having Daze and Force and Delirium. That's cool. I have a Planar Nexus coming up. But you know, between Ancient Tomb and my attacks, it's like they're on a what 4-turn clock. Grim Monolith, okay. And they say go. It's a bit scary. It might mean that they have like Ugin stuff coming up. So now I feel like one force and a Daze should be enough, so I guess I can still ponder. But I kind of want to hit a land so I can, if they have Ugin, so I can cutter. Like have a new threat next turn. In that case, I should brainstorm. Is that true? No, it's not true. I'll ponder, looking for a land and kind of lands and counter spells. Yeah, that's a fine one. Okay, so with this setup, I'm super soft to Ugin. Hmm. I'm just gonna check their list, latest list. Yeah, they play 4 Ugin at 7 mana. I think I should actually like 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a real risk that I get Ugin next turn. I'm gonna counter that, but that takes away my threat. I'm gonna shuffle because I want to find lands. Okay. Let's get cutter going. I'd be able to daze that Ugin. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't. I hadn't seen that the colorless deck, the Tron deck, plays 4 Ugin. That card is so strong. You really need consigns to beat it. Yeah, here it is. So at least I can daze it. I don't want that. But like the monolith it's tapped, they have just 2 mana and then Ancient Tomb that hurts. I have a bolt. No, it's not going to be easy for them. Okay, and now I have The mana. Okay, well, probably brainstorming so I can find a Bauble, but I might be building. Ah, no, I'm probably brainstorming because I can also like find double bolt and be happy. This is a nice game, the way it's shaping out, shaping up. And Ugin is really a card you can't let resolve. Okay, brainstorm. See if I can find a Bauble or gut shot. No. Okay, well, too many colors. Double bolt is good. So that it means that I can even... Okay, they're making a move now. And I'm gonna counter that. I can just double bolt now, so I'm just gonna pitch whatever, brainstorm. Okay. Nice one. So, colorless. Would love to have more consigns instead of Casey Jones, but such is life when you test new cards. Let's see. They play 4 Trinispheres, I assume. Brazen is, I mean, a way of handling that. They play Karn. Question is, what the role of Bolt is. I definitely don't wanna be flooded with bolts, but if you can do something. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna attack Karn. I think that's the plan. Daze is not awesome, but you know, counter spells. It's counter spells are valuable. So what might they be bringing in? Not much. I don't think so. Like dismembers maybe, but not much. That is not keepable, although it's close. They mulligan. We have a consign. That's pretty good. Keeping and binning the brazen, I think. Brazen doesn't feel very good in the dark. Okay, let's see if they play a Trinisphere as well. Yep. So now life is tough. I'm gonna wait to surveil until end of turn, but this Trinisphere like that is just so strong. Turn 1. We'll take key. Yeah, just gonna surveil. I mean, what am I looking for really? I'm looking for Force of Wills. I have the lands. I'm looking for a braid. Murktide is a threat that I can't play next turn. But yeah, once they hit, if they play like a 4-drop threat, then I'm conceding. This is almost the same. Like they have infinite mana, they are looking at cards. 3 top, 0 bottom. I'm just gonna see what. I mean, I can counter what they play, but realistically, I'm not winning. I can brainstorm. So they have Cossac's Command, maybe? Or something. Boomerang Basics. So I can bounce Trinisphere, but I don't have any counter spells. Just play Murktides. I think I'm just gonna do that. And pass the turn. At least it forces him to have plays. Yep. Big K command for 6. Let's see if they whiff. They have Tron. They have infinite mana, basically. They have the One Ring. Yeah, not conceding yet. I should. But, I mean, Ugin is the card that absolutely guarantees the win. They could die to the One Ring, right? Even though they can draw a million cards, probably play a new one. It's like 1 in a million that I win this game. Okay, that I can concede to. Thank you. So, don't think anything changes at all. It's a cool deck going all in on going to 7 mana. And of course 4 as well, but playing all those Ugins. That is sweet. So I'm not happy that I don't have a threat. For sure. Daze, well. Daze is not ideal as well. Boomerang is probably pretty bad on their side of the board. Yep, that's okay. So I don't want to waste yet, really. They don't have, like, Urza's Mine is not the best of the lot. Okay, sweet. I think I'm just fetching, actually. Getting rid of a land. And what? Boomerang Basics? It does allow me to like bounce this next turn to have some get some nice triggers, but it does feel like the weakest still. Double Daze is not awesome, but it's what I have. Gonna Bauble right away. It's a bit slow. It's close because it allows me to have 2 triggers next turn. But I don't know, it feels slow. That's also 2 triggers, sweet. So now they have 3 mana. They have 4 mana, actually. Okay. Do they have 5 mana? No, they have 4. Because they... Another one? Jesus Christ. Sure. My Wasteland is going to be important. Let's put it like that. Trinisphere. Of course, I can't let that happen. We know they have a tower. What am I? So I'm wasting the Nexus. Next turn. This is going to be very tough. That's a good one. That's a very good one. Yeah, this is going to be very, very tough. Very, very tough. They have 3 cards. One of them is just a tower. So my hope is that they don't have any plays next turn if I shoot the Nexus. And then I can also hold up Consign. So this is functionally 1 mana each. So they have 5 mana. They play the tower, they have +3. I think I really need to waste here. Saga as well. Uh-oh. So I'm gonna counter that token producing ability because those are too big. Those tokens will be 4, 5, 6, 6. It's gonna be tough getting out of this alive for sure. Three mana. 3 cards. Cosmic's Command, yeah. And very, very strong. I would like it to draw Force of Will. That would be more or less ideal. Thank you. Jeez. Don't click without thinking. I was just partying. I should have played Thundering Falls, of course. That's very bad. Celebrating and clicking at the same time is a mistake. Might cost me dearly. This is a game where every inch matters. So that gives them a bunch of mana. I think I should, like, right now they only have 2 mana, and I think that's the squeeze I should work towards. Brainstorm is a good one. Needle, okay. So I just need to be aggressive here. I feel like unless they find the Tron, missing Tron piece, or Nexus, it is a lot of cards. Wasteland. Yeah, I mean, if I had a bounce at the ready, that would be fine. Okay, sweet. So I can play Murktide and be aggressive. Let's attack first. So what do we have to work with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 cat types. Creature, land. So I need to leave. What? I can make a 6/6. No, I can. I'm not missing anything. It's 1, 2. Yeah, it's a big one. I don't know why I missed something. Didn't count right. So now they have the mana. Well, they don't have it now, but they will soon have the mana they need. Ponder, awesome. Let's find consign. Don't need that. Boomerang Basics. That can also do the trick. Actually, bouncing the Grim Monolith. Getting rid of the land. Need to go big right now. The One Ring or Ugin, I guess. Okay, we got there. Sweet. So we managed to beat some colorless decks with only our 2 consigns, but it would be much, much easier with more. Anyways, see you for the closing thoughts. All right, closing thoughts. We had a league with, we didn't play against, well, we played against one deck where this plan was kind of meant, where it was meant to be in the mirror, even though, as I said, it's not really ideal playing a 3-drop in the mirror. And that's, I mean, that's one of the good examples of why this is probably not in the metagame that we have right now. This is not what's up. I mean, I wouldn't mind testing it more, playing it more, if we had a metagame that was very like demanded um, grindiness even more. But I'm already set up with the cutters, 4 cutters in the main, to be grinding as well as I can against fair matchups. So I do think that this is way over the top. It's not the smartest thing to do right now. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame we didn't see if it can like work. If the theory is too thin, I feel like it's probably a bit too thin. I was excited to play with this new card, but I think it's probably not the shell for it or the time for it. If I did have an important tournament, I'd play just a bit differently, still with Gutshot, even though this is, I mean, untested. I feel like it's gonna be solid enough, or not that bad that I won't hate it that much in the matchups where it's not really a card, where it's just like a trigger on cutter. But I feel like that's gonna be okay, and it's just a way of solidifying or improving the Bowmaster matchup, which I think is the most important thing right now when you're playing Izzet. I would like to try playing one more of these and playing one Pyroclasm to see how that feels. Boarding in to 3 Gutshot against Dimir, that might be bad. It's definitely on the frontier of between reason and over the top. But I think it's a card that I'm looking to have in my opening hand most of the time against Dimir. So yeah, that's like what I'm gonna try, even though I'm not gonna recommend it yet because I can't really say that. I would also say that if it works, then I'd like to know if this setup without the pyroclasms at all, if that's good enough against cats, energy cats. If it is, then we could fit in the second gravestone or Grafdigger's Cage. So that's where I'm at right now. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and see you next week. Hold up, before I go, I have a Patreon if you want to read stuff. I forget to mark it myself, but I have a tempo textbook that I add pages to every month. I also have Prowess Izzet Prowess primer that I will also add stuff to, I think, because I feel like the primer I wrote is for mostly for paper, for paper metagame, but I'm gonna add something for online, basically based on what I'm building every week. And I make a column every month. Next month is going to be about paper mentality, going to paper tournaments, having a solid mentality, solid mindset. And yeah, I also make a monthly video about sideboarding, like opening hands post board, and discussing keeps and mulligans. And that's it for now. Have a good week.